with the Woodards. I'm your host for the evening, Craig Woodard Sr., and this is episode 26. Joining me tonight, again, a third appearance. Hey, man, it would not be the same without my cousin Deontay Cooley. Deontay, thanks for joining me tonight, man.
Absolutely, man. We always be rocking out, man. We ain't be rocking and rolling. So
Absolutely.
we're here tonight to talk a little bit more about some of the other things. Make sure we got a sound check, so we got to see, because we usually be having some errors and
we
we'll
got
get
it
all
all.
that in order first.
We got it all worked out now, right?
Let's go. Let's see. About to see. I'm trying to make sure everything uploaded on my end as well.
Yes, sir. We're ready to roll, man. This is going to be a good show. I appreciate everyone across the country tuning in. We've been getting a lot of different viewers. We're live on Facebook right now, streaming. We're streaming live on my YouTube channel at Etcetera with the Woodards. So welcome, all the new subscribers and everyone else that's tuning in on Facebook land. We really appreciate you taking a look at us and trying to figure out what's going on. And I know you're here for the update. So I want to give a little background information, what we've been talking about since July 2nd. So on July 2nd, our cousin, Marcello Woodard, was murdered in Erie, Pennsylvania, allegedly by his parole agent. There were two agents involved. One of them was the shooter. He was shot 3 times in the chest while he was sitting in the car. The preliminary story from the state, they're trying to say that the car was moving and one of the agents was being dragged. We do have a video that shows that the first shot rang out before the car was even moving, so he wasn't being dragged. We have eyewitnesses that say no way in hell was he being dragged. And we are on day 47 with no response from the state. The DA's office, Elizabeth Hertz, has said nothing but an original statement. And the second statement, she said, see the original statement. The investigation is continuing, and it's just, it's a mess. The city of Erie is just fed up with wanting to know what's going on, and more importantly, Cello's family. We want to know exactly what is going on. Deontay and me have been talking a lot on the podcast about these updates and keeping you guys updated. And the most recent meeting that a lot of people in Erie attended was the Erie County Council meeting. And Deontay, you were front and center at the meeting. Talk to me about how you felt the meeting went. You can start from the beginning. There was a lot of speakers, and you had the pleasure to go up and speak. Run me through that real quick.
Yeah. So pretty much like we went to the meeting for the same thing. We went to the county council meeting, which is held in Erie County Courthouse, asking for some advocacy from some of all of our elected officials and anybody who was present in the room, from the people who were watching, or because they live stream it, from the people who came to the meetings for other reasons because they print agendas, and other people have the right and opportunity to speak to their concerns as well. Like, right. As far as just continuing to raise some noise and get some information about what we're seeking for, and also one of the intentions was to bring to the awareness of our people in the community, how the way the county council is broken up and the way it's divided, like the officials who are elected, they are elected by districts,
right.
What I mean. So for as many people who hold this seat, I wish I would have had all my information together, so I'd be speaking freely sometimes, I'll pull it up. But for anybody, for as far as like the people who hold the seats, there are so many people in their area is broken up into districts. You know what I mean? So when they run for the seats and things like that, and I'm pulling up on my computer just so I can.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 county council people.
Okay.
Oh man. So and then they're in through districts, so they're voted in, and this took place in District 4. You know what I mean? So
right.
What we were doing was trying to say, okay, how can we go to Jim Winarski, Mr. Jim Winarski, again, because, it's still with all due respect, but
Mhm.
Mr. Winarski, this is your district, this is your area. We've been out here protesting. We've
Yeah.
been out here marching. We've been podcasting. We've been reaching out to news people. Like, we were looking for help, representation, or something. And this is something that happens in your area. And in these neighborhoods is where they knock.
Right.
So we were raising the awareness to the people that this is how our elected officials who are elected in our districts act or don't act, or how they represent or don't represent us.
Right.
As well as, again, when you have an opportunity to put something like all of that stuff is public record.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you go to those county council meetings and they say, okay, can we swear in the minutes from last meeting? Like, does anybody have any objections?
Yep.
Like, this is going to be a part of history that the people who are in the city of Erie are going to their elected officials to ask for help, and we're going to continue to ask for help, support, and advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, we go from the city council meeting, to the county council meeting. A lot of people are still questioning, reaching out to me individually, and you see it on Facebook, like, well, why do y'all keep going there? There's nothing that they can do. Why do y'all keep going there? There's nothing they can do. Not understanding or realizing that if you get the information documented in public record, as far as like, this is how things are working, and this is how things, like, everything works off of data and statistics. And we have to lean and we have to rely on them to do the jobs that they ran to do, and do the jobs they're elected to do, or
Right.
do the jobs that we need them to do. So we went to, I know I'm like dragging it out, but I want to put some emphasis on our intention, our message, our movement, and the reason why we went to the county council meeting, because this is where we're starting,
Mhm.
So again, it was people coming. It was a large crowd. It was a passionate crowd. It was a diverse crowd, and it was
Yeah.
more adjusted to the format of the meeting, because I believe that a lot of people are now paying more attention and understanding and learning the way that we can handle and manage things. So
Right.
it wasn't as much noise as it was intellect this time. You know what I mean? And it was more, okay, now they making sense. You know what I mean? Now we bring in valid points. Now we speak in truth to power. You know what I mean? We're asking questions. And since people have enough time to do their research and the census is continuously growing, you're getting more support from the community, from people from the outside coming in to just be like, yo, this thing is, you know what I mean? This is a real thing. Like, what's going on here? So you got those type of people speaking.
Right.
So that was the purpose in going there. And it was a lot of people who spoke. And then it was people who, like, Shamel, his girlfriend.
Yes.
She went up there and spoke. And I believe that was the first time that she, like, and I ain't gonna hold you, that when that happened, like, at that moment,
Yeah.
like, that hit me in the, oh man, like,
Yeah.
I'm standing there because I'm trying to, I'm standing up, like, and as to see her go up there and then talk and to do it the way that she did it, like, it brought something out of me that turned me up a little bit more to, like,
Yeah.
I was in it, and I was out of order in there. You know what I mean? Like, and they had every right. That's why I said remove me. Like, they had every right to remove me, which thankfully they did not, because I felt like I deserved to be there. I knew I overstepped when I felt it was necessary to.
Mm-hmm.
But when you moved in a moment like that, and you hear somebody like just cry, like, she got to live with that.
Man.
You know what I mean? And then not understanding, like, the things that she's dealing with on the level that she's not sharing with people, as far as her being antagonized.
Yep.
You mean, or even as far as, like, people coming around and embracing her, both right, wrong, good, bad, like, indifferent. Like, so to hear her come up there and to speak like that,
Yep.
and then to hear his pops, you know what I mean, say,
Oh.
I don't want to die without knowing what happened to my son.
Man.
And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. When I seen the people in the county council meeting, seeing their face when he said that, because throughout the meeting, you seen the body language of some people, and it was like, you read the body language.
Yeah.
And then when Malcolm called out Winarski smirking at him, like,
Yep.
you sitting there smiling and laughing. So there was some times of that, but there was a time when, like, when Mr. Charles, excuse me,
Yeah.
when Mr. Charles said, like, I should not have to die without knowing what happened to my son, like, that took the heart in the room out of everybody. I mean, and for anybody who feel like that wasn't a moment or there was no compassion, like,
Man.
I would at least have to disagree with that, as far as, like, that right there. Shamel and Charles shook the room. They shook the room, like,
that broke my heart when my cousin Charles went up and said that. I want to stay on Shamel for a second, and we're going to come back to Charles Woodard and what he said. Shamel, for the first time had ample time to go and refute what has been said by the state publicly, right? So, for you all that don't know, they tried to twist her words in the original statement and say that she said that she saw the parole agent being dragged, but she didn't. She first got to go up, and what a strong young lady this was, to go up there and to tell her story, how she saw it, and to refute what they said, because they tried to automatically pit her against her fiance, and it just wasn't right. When you heard her finally be able to defend herself in public, what did that mean to you?
Hold on, real quick. I'm sending you a message, guys.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, because it was like I had spoke to her. Like, I have been talking to her regularly. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just filling her out, getting information, asking questions. So, and just being a voice of reason to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to hear her actually speak, and I was just like, hey man, you might want to, like, just chill on that. You know what I mean? Wait to speak to your counsel, your attorney or whatever, whoever you're working with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you get their advice before you take the advice of anybody else.
Right.
First and foremost, like, none of us who have been trying to assist you or been trying to help you, console you and stuff like that, we're not attorneys. We're all concerned individuals trying to do our best, trying to work as hard as we can to make sure that the message doesn't go away. So, like, I'm telling her, like, yo, it's some people you ain't gonna be want to be talking to.
Right.
Some questions do not answer. You know what I mean? And if you want to vent or whatever, like, these are some of the outlets, resources, and I'm also going to be here to support you as well. But so when she was like standing there, like, I'm standing at the door, mind you, I'm waiting because she contemplating going up or not, and it was kind of like a little should I, should not, I'll take you out. Michael and Terry was standing next to her, like, let's go up here together. And then Shamir came and was like, I'm gonna take her. And then her mom came and was like, she coming with us. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So then it was just like her twin sister, and her mother went up to the podium, and they all spoke as far as, like, well, she spoke first, like, and it wasn't easy. You could see, like, it wasn't easy for her to speak. It was like she broke at the
Yeah.
mic, but it was like a powerful break to where the message, like, the message came out, the message was delivered, and it was just like, you feel it. You know what I mean? Like, you felt
Yeah.
it, and I'm just like, oh yeah, man, like, some got to shake. And everybody in the room felt it, to where her sister then chimed in, grabbed the mic. Her mom chimed in, grabbed the mic. Michael even went back up there, grabbed the mic. Like, that was the moment to where, like, all the emotions came out the room, and then other people was going up there to grab the mic and speak as well. But, like, to see her do that, like, you know what I mean? I believe
Yeah.
that was the moment where she felt like, this is the time, space, and the opportunity for me to do this. Like, the setting was smaller, the room was a little bit more calm, the vibe was a little bit more chill,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't like, so it was more comfortable. I mean,
Right.
even just with the carpet and the chairs and all of that, like, the size of the room, it was more comfortable. And then
Right.
you closer to the people, like, and all of that matters. But she decided at that point in time, I'm gonna go say something, and I'm gonna clear up whatever I can, whatever, within these 3 minutes. And she
Mm-hmm.
didn't even use the whole 3 minutes, but when she did that, that was just kind of like the, whoa, this is real moment for
Yes.
the people that were in that room.
Go back a little bit and talk about Charles Woodard, and I mean that, out of everything that we saw, and I'm here down in Tampa, and I'm watching it after the fact, and it broke me down to hear what he said. For a father to have to go in front of the county council and say, "I'm hoping that you guys can tell me something before I die." I mean, how hard did that hit you, man?
That was, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's when the feelings and the gut wrench start coming out, because I don't know, honestly, to speak the order of, I don't know if he was before or after Chanel. Like, so I want
Yeah.
to be clear on that. So both of those moments were very impactful, but I just know, like, as far as, like, hers, first, but then him, like, when he said that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. Like, I never ever thought to consider that. You know what I mean? Because I see him, like, he's in the gym every day. Like, God's
Yeah.
in the gym. I see him every morning. We make sure we know it. You know what I mean? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
he working out every single day. But then we also have to realize, like, That's big cuz. You know what I mean? Like that ain't
Yeah.
cuz like, yo, let's go hang out. Like I still call him Mr. Charles in public. Like when I see
Yeah.
him, like the cuz is more or less like the embracing the endearment of, but having the respect level because he's an elder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he say that, then it's also you have to realize when you think of his age, like that is a real statement. Like
Yeah.
he just lost his son.
Right.
Like so when he said that, I'm like, oh shit, like
Yeah. Yeah.
that was just like, ooh, like because I couldn't imagine it. And I would
Right.
never want to have to imagine that. And that is the reality of his life now, right now. Like the reality of his life is there's a chance that I can die without knowing what happened to my child. And like, God forbid he dies, the way the world works, it might be less important because
Yeah.
his dad can't fight no more. You know what I mean? Like and great thing that his children are involved and the mothers of his children and his girlfriend, like, and everybody who is involved can continue to fight for him and push it out because this is definitely a great thing to see. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But you get to the point to where like, yo, his own pops who, you know what I mean, was out here at the meetings and
Yeah.
he's asking and he's crying and you see him and you see the family coming out. Like when you see all of this stuff going on, and you just like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
What did he just say?
Yeah.
Like, did he just say what I think he just said? And
Yeah.
you're like, yo, yeah, no, he really just said that. Like, I don't want to have to die without knowing who killed my son. And we can't even get no information. It was just like, wow, that was real. That's when it was, when he said that. And then I think, like, again, when he said that, it was people who were sitting up there. Like, I'll say this based on, I mean, because we know Dre's in. But Chris Drexel, like, you could see it in his body language. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
legitimately, he had a look on his face like he was dumbfounded. Like, holy shit! Like this is
Yeah.
really like it was some other people sitting up there. They tried to keep their game face on.
Mm-hmm.
Try to keep the political face on as far as like, okay, let's just not. But like when he said that, like Chris. But yeah, that was the moment. Like
Yeah.
them two moments, like that brought out a lot in the different people to where like, and I honestly believe that's why like Michael went back like, listen, this is real. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There's somebody else spoke, and then Michael went back like, this is real. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's not the order of the meeting, but it got to the point like I said, speaking for myself, like I was out of order, and I told him like I knew the chances of removal is
Right.
possible. So
Yep.
what for me it wasn't a threat. It was more or less like, okay, I know the way this works.
There's
I know the
protocol.
role. I know the
Mm-hmm.
order.
Yep.
If Terry Scatella would have been like, get him out of here. They had the sheriff center. They're there. Like, get him out of here. They could have removed me. They didn't remove me, but it's to the point now to where like we weren't rude, we weren't violent, we weren't
Yeah.
belligerent, we weren't disrespectful. But there was a couple of times in the meeting where like the order was broken in the meeting, and it was because it was so many emotions involved in it, and then it just like it was times where it was just necessary. Like somebody got to say something. But
Yep.
yeah, those two moments when Shamel went up there and spoke for the first time,
Yeah.
and then hearing Mr. Charles go up there and get
Man.
and say what he said, and then even Coop, you know what I mean? Like when Uncle Coop, he went up there too, like
Yeah.
he like, yo, this is my nephew. Like I'm seeing all of these people now. You got people who coming to talk now, like, yo,
Yeah.
I've been following this for quite some time, and like y'all got to do something. Like even the interactions on social media, like
Yep.
going back and forth with people to where now it's people that's just like, yo, can y'all do something so we don't got to hear about it no more? Like, and that's how big it's getting.
Yeah, and as I said, man, 47 days, and we haven't heard a thing. The family needs answers. This county council meeting last week was something else. I tell you, if you have a heart, hearing those words from Mr. Charles Woodard and Shamel, both of those speakers, it just makes you really, really think. And we've been battling 47 days, and we've seen some of these negative comments on social media that are uncalled for. We try to be the bigger person and ignore some of those things. But we're talking about reality. We're talking about life. We're talking about a loved one. And to hear what Mr. Charles said was just, I watched that whole thing prior to me going to bed that night, man. And that was the one thing that really stuck with me for Big Cuz to say this
Right,
and be emotional like he was. That really gives you the reality of where we're at.
I want to like to say something though. Even like, so this is my thing too. Like with the unnecessary comments. Like at this point, like as crazy as it may sound, like the unnecessary comments are even necessary at this point, because what I'm even been sharing like with people is like people are still concerned.
Yep.
It's concerned to the point to where people are talking about it and the message is being delivered and is being carried to where like it's just be prepared for the message that you put out and be prepared for the message that you receive. You know what I mean? And you got to stay consistent in the message. But the more people get in them comments, that's more people thinking about Cello and talking about Cello.
Absolutely.
But we definitely see like in the ignorance is seen, and that's why even from going to some of our elected officials and people who aren't in the court of law or who aren't in the justice system, like when we ask for help and we ask for justice, you can literally see the lack of education in the comment section. You can literally see the separation in the comment section. You can see the division in the comment section. And there are people who are watching this, who exist in the world, who have access to the names of the people who think like this, live like this, feel like this. And everybody doesn't have the mentality of attack with aggression and anger. So you have people who can see people who need some type of help, some type of guidance, or even some type of discipline, for lack of better words, to be able to be like, yo, this is what this issue is causing within our community. It's causing unity. It's causing division. It's causing confusion. It's causing chaos. It's causing love. It's causing so many different emotions. So like the unnecessary at this point is even necessary, because we need people to really know like this is happening. This is going on. So again, like, and I'm glad that came up to say, like, because a lot of people are like, they still don't understand, like, why don't, like, it's going to be a process. Why don't y'all wait? Like, we get it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a process. Nobody is saying, you know what I mean? Nobody is saying don't do the process. What we saying is we're not going to be quiet about it.
Right.
What we also saying is we're watching and we paying attention, and somebody at least needs to speak to us to deliver some type of message, because nobody's saying anything, and we have the right to question our elected officials. Like I tell people that because like they signed up for these jobs. So it is their job, and they are working for the people. And this is what I want people to understand moving forward. Like, they are working for the people. So the people are your supervisor.
Right.
If you're not doing your job, wherever it is that you work at today, right now, and your supervisor does not agree with you, he is going to come to you and he's going to address you however he or she can within the laws of the handbook, the policy, or wherever the case may be. So when we go into those city council meetings, and we go into those county council meetings, the laws is the Robert Rules of Order in the code of whatever that county council is supposed to be running, in the code of whatever the city council is supposed to be running. And then you use the information that they said that they were going to run on, and you come to them and you ask them and you tell them, hey, you're not doing your job. Clean up on aisle 6. That spill's been sitting over there for quite some time. There's a leaky ceiling, and all you did was put a bucket under there, and the water's just dripping in there. So when people be like, oh, why y'all going down there, or y'all talking to them people, they don't really care, what can they really do? They can do a lot. They have connections. Like, they have reached the people, like, it's waves and it's levels. So if I can't connect to somebody in Harrisburg today, but I know somebody in Erie who can, I'm going to go tell somebody in Erie who can. I'm going to keep knocking on their door, and I'm going to keep knocking on their door, and keep knocking on their door. So, like, I hope for the people who don't understand, who don't realize, I want them to start coming to the meeting. And I want the people who are in the comment section who are being rude and ignorant, I want them to come to the meetings as well, because, again, nobody's talking about violence, and nobody has been violent. We all have been speaking our concerns. Some of it has been passive, some of it has been aggressive, some of it has been assertive, some of it has been passive aggressive, but we all have been speaking. So even for the people who want to come tell us to shut up, come do it in a civil manner at a city council meeting, at a county council meeting, and say, hey, Can the DA come out here and talk to these people so they can shut the hell up?
Yes.
Because we got questions too. Like somebody was questioning me on one of my posts, and I'm like, yo, I'm glad you got these questions because I'm not an attorney.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So since I'm not an attorney and you have questions and you have concerns, ask the district attorney. Put it in writing or come to a meeting. If you want me to shut up, come to a city council meeting and tell me to shut up. Come to a county council meeting and shut up. Share this podcast right now and caption it. Will this guy shut the hell up? Because we're going to make noise and we're going to go to the places and spaces where we're supposed to make noise to, and we're going to ask the people who are concerned and who have an investment and who have an interest to do something. So to me, I love the negative comments. And when I say I love them, I don't mean I love them in the sense of I'm going to go back and forth with them, because these people are they're showing that they are concerned, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. You see other podcasts, like I see there's some different podcasts, and I'm not even going to mention them on here to give anybody credit, but you know what I mean? There's a group of Republicans who, like, when they run a podcast and they have their meetings, they talking about us. So they still spreading the word, but they understand law as well. They understand policy as well. And what they're doing is, if you pay attention to some of those podcasts, some of those people, they're giving us information, but it's just sometimes the message isn't always coming how we used to it or how we want it to be, or, you know what I mean? It seems like there's a plan to try to sway people. So you don't have to be swayed to listen to a message and take away what you can, like, because people who speak anger also speak policy. You know what I mean? And people who speak hate also speak policy. And people who speak ignorance and talk bad about us, like those people in our comments, in the comment section who are speaking hate, if you go research those people, right? And you go check their pages, and you'll see some of the stuff that they share and some of the stuff that they post. We may not agree with their opinions. We may not agree with their viewpoints. We may not even agree with their lifestyle. But if you look at the big picture, and if you look deeper into it, when they're upset about things that take place in this country, sometimes they use policy to defend themselves. Sometimes they use law. Sometimes it's ignorance. Sometimes it's emotion. Sometimes it's feelings. So I appreciate the dialogue and the conversations of people who want to be ignorant or upset. We don't have to attack characters. Let's keep the dialogue about your thoughts and your opinions about the situation. So if people, I hope this thing get 500,000 shares and be like, I wish these guys would shut up. And I hope that the people who dislike us, who are friends with the district attorney, says, hey, why don't you go on a podcast? Why don't you get it, since you may not feel safe or comfortable to be with them personally, go on a podcast like you went on a podcast with the alleged shooter. Go on a podcast with, sit in a room where, you know what I mean, where, like, I'm at Radius. Like, in Radius, this is not a pro-black place. This is a very inclusive place, and this is a friendly space to where the district attorney can come sit next to me. I'm not going to do anything to her. I understand if she might not want to come to a city council meeting or a community center because the heat is up. But we can't get to you digitally, so if it comes to a conversation and people want to scream, let us scream at a camera. We do it at ourselves all day anyway.
That's
right. You know what I mean? So at this point, we need people making noise. Like, shit, tell her to go on live. You know what I mean? Tell her to go to Erie News Now and go live, and let's do a Q&A and let her tell us why she ain't telling us something. Like, tell us something more. So for the people who tired of it, keep making noise. For the people who want justice, keep making noise. The process is not going to be over in 30 days. Like you said, we on day 47. This may take months. This may take years. She may not speak to us for another 12 months. And the process is going to be long, but that does not mean that we have to be quiet. And I want people to understand that. You know what I mean? So stop telling people to stop speaking up, because again, it's our right. We are allowed to exercise our right. You want us to exercise our civic duty and vote. People talk, oh, why don't you guys follow the law, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, we are allowed to protest. So allow us to protest and be quiet. You know what I mean? We are allowed to speak. We have a freedom of speech. So regardless of if you disagree with it, like, don't tell us to stop. You'll go, if the only people who gonna make us stop is the people who can bring us justice. For the people who want us to shut the fuck up, then go tell the district attorney and her team, her office, to give us some answers so we can shut the fuck up. Don't direct your anger and your energy at us. Don't direct your hate at us. Don't direct your dislike of what we're doing at us. There's only going to be one entity that's going to be able to get us to calm down, and one entity that's going to be able to shut us up. So they ain't doing nothing in the comment section but making us bigger, making us stronger. They ain't doing nothing in the comment section but making us relevant. making us prominent in the city of Erie. You know, when my man Michael out there with the megaphone and he screams, we gonna stay relevant. He'll keep making noise. So, you know, if anybody got a problem, what we doing, just direct your frustration and your heat at the district attorney, or come to a city council meeting and grab the microphone, because we haven't been violent. Nobody's been hurt. A person hasn't even been pushed. Nobody's been touched. People come out and give out waters. You know what I mean? People come out and give us, you know, people riding past blowing the horn, so it's peaceful. But we loud, and we don't have to be quiet, and people need to stop telling us to be quiet. People need to stop telling people to be quiet, and we all need to keep making noise, you know, in whatever capacity that is, bro. Like, I went to church today. You know what, Pastor Cook, he's telling his congregation, he's speaking on justice. He's not directly speaking it to us specifically, but he's speaking about it. So the message is still being delivered in so many different facets, and I love that. So at this point, like, ain't no shut up. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna happen tomorrow. Like, for anybody who's fighting for justice, for anybody who's screaming for justice, for anybody who's wondering what's going on and we got questions, just know it ain't gonna happen tomorrow, but that don't mean shut up tomorrow. You know what I mean? And then for the people who tired of us, y'all know, just like we know, it ain't gonna happen tomorrow. So stop telling us a long process and maybe apply some pressure to the district attorney so we can shut up. Because we not shutting up until we hear something. And we know it's a process. We know it can get extended. We know it can get pushed back. Nobody's dumb. Nobody's ignorant. We ain't saying none of that. We ain't saying don't do due process. We're saying lock his ass up. As soon as you can, lock his ass up. And if you can't lock his ass up tomorrow, then guess what? Tomorrow you're going to hear from some of us. You might hear from all of us. And whichever day you don't do it, you're going to hear from us. Whichever day you don't do it, you're going to see from us. But until you do it, we're going to keep making noise. You know what I mean? And the district attorney and her team, because it's not just her, they need to start saying something, whatever they can legally say. Like, I'm not trying to hear when we do the investigation, we quiet. We're not asking anybody to break the law. Excuse me. We're not asking nobody to break the law. We're not asking nobody to violate the law. We're asking somebody to come talk to us. Make us feel like we are part of the community that you asked to vote for you. You know what I mean? And that's another thing when we talk about the vote. Going back to the county council meeting. You know what I mean? Like, we need our elected officials to be speaking like us, because we are human beings. Period. Before anything. Before I'm a registered voter, I'm a human being. Before I'm a tax-paying citizen, I'm a human being. Before I'm a black man, before I'm a white man, before I'm a trans man, before I'm a religious man, before I'm anything, I'm a man, bro. I'm a human being, and our elected officials need to recognize that and realize that. And if they feel like we ignorant, and if they feel like we ain't doing the jobs right, we still live in the places that they signed up to run, and they need to come speak to us, and they need to come help us. They need to come solve these problems, because if they're not willing to solve the problems, then they shouldn't run for the job. Like, and I understand my approach is aggressive, and that's why it's other people who come in. You know what I mean? It was the lady Chanel. She was standing there with her baby. The one meaning she rocking a stroller while she talking. Another one, she holding the baby. So at this point, like, my approach may not be the best approach for them to listen. But now we got other people delivering a softer approach, and that's cool and that's acceptable. We got other people who writing letters, and that's cool and that's acceptable. We got people who making posts, and that's cool and that's acceptable. Understand that until we hear something, we gonna keep going, and we know it ain't gonna be tomorrow that we hear something. So at this point, expect us to be at the city council meetings until, I don't care if it's snowing out. Y'all know I love the snow. Like, expect us to come, expect the message to get louder, expect the movement to get stronger, expect the coalition to grow, like, and expect more people to understand, like, it's gonna be more organized. We're gonna end up getting some legal people behind us to be like, yo, we support y'all and everything that y'all do, and we wanna help y'all, and we're gonna help y'all. So at this point, like, you know what I mean? I believe so. Somebody said, are we allowed to sit inside the courthouse and if we go in there to wait and speak to talk to them, and like everybody go like, hey, I'm here to, if they say, okay, well, she don't got time or you want to wait, then yeah, I'm not saying to raid. No, not to go raid in their raid. But if you got questions and they ain't, if they in the office, if his office is in the courthouse and you want to go talk to him, I'm here to see him. And if 100 people are there to see him, then hey, 100 people are there to see him.
That's right.
But again, it's been civil. We just been loud. We haven't been violent. We just been loud. We haven't been rude, ignorant, disrespectful. We just been loud. The only thing that we did, and I'll admit for myself, I was out of order. Being out of order is not illegal. Being out of order is not disrespectful. Being out of order is not violent. It is not belligerent. It is not rude. It is simply what it is. Out of order. That is a penalty. Foul on the play. Get him out of here. Remove him. And I knew that when I said his timer went off, but I'm not going to stop, so remove him. And then when I was in the back of the room and I was screaming and I was talking and Mr. Scatella looked at me and said, "You out of," he looked me right in my face and told me, "You out of order," because he knows that I know the rules. So
Right.
it wasn't no, he knows that I know the rules. "You out of order, Deontay." And I said, "I'm going to remove myself. And as a matter of fact, we all should leave. Let's go, y'all." Because it wasn't going to be no more order at that point. After all them feelings and them emotions came out, like, it was best that we did leave because the sheriffs were in there and they had in that setting, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what I want people to understand as well. Like,
Yep.
because they're like, okay, we seen the sheriffs and that. What was they trying to do? Like, no, that's in that setting, they are allowed to and they're entitled to. And I will say, like, they stood there and they allowed us to be out of order and they were not disrespectful and we left out of there peacefully. So again, we've been peaceful. We just been loud. We haven't been violent. We haven't been belligerent. None of that. So let's keep that message. Like, when people are in the comments, when they talking about us and anybody who's moving in any direction to seek justice for Marcello Woodard, regardless of what you see or regardless of what you think, not one person has been violent. Not one person has been disrespectful. Not one person has been rude. All we have been is loud, consistent, and persistent. And you cannot do anything but love it. And if you want us to stop, then ask for help. But don't tell us to stop. Ask for help from the people who can make us stop, which is the powers that be.
And I want to address another thing that you said too. When we talk about where we're going, what our goal is, where we're moving to, what the movement is here, Justice for Cello. Some people are like hitting us all up about, is there a divide in the community? What's going on and this and that? No, there is no divide in the community. We all want one thing and one thing only, and that's justice for Cello. We got family members out here that are doing some things behind closed doors, doing things publicly, protesting, doing all kinds of stuff. All of it is for love for Cello. We want justice for Cello. Crump is on the team. Crump is going to be making his next move, and we want answers. That's where we're at right now. And you know, it's highly disrespectful, in my opinion, that she has not come out to the family and said anything. How about call a news conference, a press conference, and come out and just say, "Hey, listen, I know you guys want answers. We're trying to get these answers for you. Our investigation is going on. We wanted to check and see how the family is going." Like, none of this is happening at all. And our family deserves this. And this is why the community is at arms right now, is because they want this. And I got to mention this as well. It's not just the black community. We have a very diverse following. We have a very diverse support system. When it affects one person, it affects us all. And you saw the diversity down at the county council meeting and all these people speaking up. I mean, it is insane. Everybody wants answers. Everybody wants answers. I know, Deontay, you've been hit up as well. People are saying, "Are you guys divided?" What do you say to that?
You want to know, honestly, nobody's asked me that. Like, as
Okay.
far as divided, people have just
Gotcha.
pretty much been like, we seeing this a lot of mixed messages on there.
Mhm.
And I tell them I see it too. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
again, like, well, I'm not addressing that.
Yeah.
Like, you heard what I said. Like, we need everything. We need the
Yep.
division to come back together, but the division is needed to necessary to see like how what this can turn into. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, my job has not been to address anybody's division or anybody's feelings. Like, when I have questions about Cello, like, the sole conversation that I'm having is what's who's doing what and how are we going to work hard to seek more justice? What can we do in the capacity that we do and how are we going to do it? So people have asked me questions about things that they saw, and only my response to them is, "Yeah, man, I see it too. You see what I'm on? Like, I'm exercising to stay fit. I'm giving praise to God, and I'm seeking justice for Cello. You know what I mean? And doing what I got to do." And like you said, people are doing things behind the scenes. So when you talk about, like, I'm sitting in Zoom calls for hours, talking to people, different organizations and associations. Like, it's individuals who are coming to have conversations with me about how they can assist, how they can reach out, how they can talk. I mean, how they can help even on the back end. Like, the conversations that I've been having, and then even the conversations that I've been having with everybody else who's working on accomplishing a goal and the things that they've been doing. You know what I mean? So again, it's not about like when people say division, like, yeah, have that thought process. And again, talk about us more, because now we need a new reason for y'all to be mentioning the people that's working for the Justice for Cello. So if y'all want to say, okay, well, it's a mess right now, then y'all talking about us. But at the end of the day, I see the comments too. I don't care to address the comments because it has nothing to do with Marcello Woodard. So for anybody who wants to talk about the situation, I encourage you to continue to talk about it, but make sure you hashtag Justice for Cello, you know what I mean? And make sure you hashtag Justice for Cello movement, you know what I mean? And make sure you tagging the pages, make sure you sharing his picture, because at the end of the day, it's still his name. So my sole concern with this whole situation and my whole purpose with this situation was to seek justice. And I don't care whose feelings I hurt. It's not intentional. Like, I'm not intentionally hurting people's feelings. But yeah, it's going to be some people who going to be all over the place. And guess what? Oh, fucking well, I do not care to, you know what I mean? Like, when we talking about that, let's make sure that we saying Cello's name in the process of all of that. And what are we doing? Because there's a solution. So if the solution is, okay, divide to come back together stronger, then absolutely. Like, when you stretch a rubber band, when they come back, it's a little stronger as it, and then you get a little bit more elastic. So that's what I would say to that stuff, like, publicly. But as far as like division in anything, or who's going to do what, or who's going to say what, or who's going to lead what, or who's going to head what, like, every single person who lives in Erie City, lives in Erie County, the state of Pennsylvania, any single person who has a concern with human life and feels there's right or there's wrong has a right to say something, has a right to do something within their means, and they have to be willing to accept the consequences that come and the rewards that come with their actions. So at this point, like, it's not my job, my goal, or my expectation to discuss anybody's division or divisive tactics, because I've been standing solid and 10 toes down since I've been down, since this situation took place. And my goal is justice for Cello. And what I'm not going to do is sit around and let anybody try to ruck me or throw me off my square. Like, it was somebody who out in my comment section, I prayed for him right on the spot, because at the end of the day, you ain't finna play with me, man. Like, and I understand, like, the way I talk and the way I feel, it may seem like it's all over the place, but like, from what I've been learning and throughout my journey, like, God got my back. So if people gonna be with me or people gonna be against me, I know who gonna be with me and who got my back. And at this point, we can't keep allowing that shit to bother anything, because at the end of the day, the goal is justice for Cello. So if for anybody who forgot the mission, that's the mission. And for people who have questions against what we're doing, then ask your questions to the district attorney so she can help us. But don't try to keep coming in here with divisive, with no any try to division, trying to ask people or pin people against one another, because at the end of the day, every single person who is concerned for the justice of Marcello Woodard. And if you are not concerned for that, then, and people notice, I'm not the guy to talk to try to stir up mess or to keep trouble going, because I'm going to look you right in your face and I'm going to tell you, like, listen, bro, you heard what I said and you've seen what I said and what I've been screaming. And I've been consistent throughout my life, before this, during this, and after this. Like, I'm working on me, and I'm making sure that I'm advocate for my community and the people in it. And right now, the advocacy and the purpose and the individual that we seek justice for is Marcello Woodard. So I don't care to argue with nobody. I don't care to go back and forth with nobody about nothing. I don't care about your feelings, if your feelings are not in regards to the concerns of us seeking justice for Marcello Woodard. And that's just my personal individual take. Long story short on the question of, yes, bro, cuz I see the comments. Yes, cuz I see the shit that's going on. Yes, cuz I know that people are talking to other people, but what I will tell you is people ain't talking to me. They asking me, do you see the comments, because they know the type of person that I am, and they know I saw the comments, but they just want to make sure they asking me without asking me, are you okay? So I'm here today to tell everybody, yes, I'm okay, and all that other stuff. I don't care about none of that shit. Is justice for Cello. So let's get back to the program. Y'all continue to be passionate. Y'all continue to speak loud. Y'all continue to make noise. And we're going to see some justice for Cello. And like I said, we know it's not going to happen overnight, but that don't mean we got to be quiet about it. We don't got to like how long it's going to take, and they don't got to like how much noise we going to make about how long it's taking. So at the end of the day, we going to be, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Where is food? Where is food? We've been doing this since kids. Like, we ain't had patience since kids. Don't tell me to be patient about, somebody being shot, gunned down, and killed, but you can't be patient when it's tax time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you can't be patient when your results ain't coming in the gym. Or you can't be patient with your paycheck. Or you can't be patient with your kids not learning. You can't be patient with your grass not growing or your plants not growing. Like, people they fail to realize that. Like, people are asking us to be patient about human life. But these same people have an instant gratification mentality.
Yep.
Like, people want to be millionaires right now, ain't willing to put forth the work or the effort, but they asking us to be patient when somebody got killed. Fuck out of here, bro.
Yep.
And they need to understand that. And if we got to break it down to the simplest form, in the simplest terms, so people understand that, don't ask me to be patient if you not willing to be patient. That means I want you to be doing 25 miles per hour. Right. That means I want you to understand kindergarten and 12th grade. That means I want you to understand 40 hours before your paycheck. That means I want you to understand that before you get the result, you put the rewards in, and don't complain. Like, people who are asking us to be quiet is because they don't know what else to say or what else to do, but everybody complains about something, and it's our time to complain about the justice for Marcello Woodard or the lack thereof that's being presented to us, and we're going to complain throughout the process. People complain in the gym. You know what I mean? If it take you 6 months to a year to get fit, every single day I'm breathing, I'm grunting, and when I'm in the gym, better not nobody tell me don't breathe.
Yep.
Don't tell me don't say keep going. Don't tell me to encourage somebody that I'm working out with. So in this process, as we working out and we exercising for justice for Cello, or as we're waiting for change, or as we're being patient about our progress, don't ask me to be patient if you ain't got patience. I'm going to continue to make noise throughout the process, and you don't have to like what it looks like, but I ain't causing nobody no harm, bro. I haven't threatened anybody. I haven't touched anybody. All I did was express my concerns using my voice, using my platform, using my resources, using my friends, using my heart. So at this point, hey, man, I'm being patient. I'm being loud and patient. Like I am in the gym, and like you is at football practice, like people is on the field, and like you is at the red light when you late for work. You know what I mean? Or like you is when you in the grocery store line, you know what I mean? And the line taking too long, and it's only one self-service, and they're like, oh my God, what's taking so long? Have some patience, because you want me to be patient about human life. So from now on, if patience is the message, be consistent in your message for patience. For the people who telling us to chill and wait and sit back, how patient are you in your life when it comes to things that's not as severe as human life? So yeah, we know it's going to be a process. As long as it's life in me, and as long as air in my lungs, and I have an opportunity to speak for justice for Cello, as long as ain't no justice being brought, I'm going to make it a relevant situation. And I don't think it can be, I can't say it no simpler than that. Like, if you want me to have some patience, you better be perfect, and you better have some patience in your life, and your kids better be the smartest kid. You better be the strongest, the most fit, the most mentally sound, the nicest, best ever. You better be 100% A1 with everything, and be able to practice patience in every single thing that you do. If you asking me to be patient about human life, because consistency works. Consistency works. So if I consistently make noise, I'm gonna get me some justice, and if I don't, I'm going to consistently make noise until I get me some justice. And if people don't understand it like that, then it ain't my job to tell you or teach you any much more than that.
And y'all wonder why I call my cousin Deontay Cooley the voice of the people. Y'all like what he's saying tonight? Y'all hear what he's saying? He's educating people. You need to vote. When he's running for office, put him in office. He's going to represent y'all. This is how he's going to represent y'all. Plain and simple. But you got to go out and vote. Go out and vote. It's very important to go out and vote and put a cat like Deontay in office, because this is what we would get, not somebody that's going to sit silent on their hands in District 4. It ain't happening, and we don't want it. That's not what we voted for, right? Well, not me. I'm down here in Tampa, but y'all, because I'm speaking for y'all on my platform. Y'all know how we do it. Hey, listen, D, I want to ask you this, because we brought this up before. There's some people that are coming in the middle of this, and they don't know every single fact of this story. Back in October, the DA, Elizabeth Hertz, was on a podcast with the alleged shooter sitting right next to him. It was on social media as well. It's a bad look. We get to the point where we're like, okay, is this a little bit of a conflict of interest? And should she recuse herself and get maybe an independent investigator to come in and handle this? How are we going to have a fair investigation if there's that type of a relationship that we have seen publicly? What are your thoughts on that?
So honestly, I'm not exactly sure as far as like recusal. I'm not sure if that's legal talk or not, if I can. But what I will say is, in my opinion, I don't think it's a good look unless she's willing to. I mean, I told you where I'm at, and it's
Yeah.
extra chairs in this room. So if you can sit and do a podcast with him prior to this, I'm pretty sure she didn't expect him to do this. You know what I mean? So we're not
Right.
gonna say, okay, she amped him up and she hyped him up and she worked with him, but I'm looking at it's 3 other chairs in here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm in it, like I said, I'm at Radius. You know, it's all love down here. Like this place is great for. It's a very diverse place, and there's been plenty of people who have sat in this exact room and done podcasts. Like I had an interview with Daria Devlin. You know who's our she's a candidate for mayor. You know what I mean? I had Chuck Nelson in here. It's been when I was doing the other podcast. Like there's been plenty of people in here. So I mean, if she has the ability to sit down and have a discussion with, again, some concerned people who may or may not have voted or elected her into, she's not a politician, but she has an elected seat, then she can come sit down and talk to us. You know what I mean? And and I want to say that, like, if it's virtual because she feels more safe, like, it's safe here. Yeah. Or even if she has a studio in her own home, like you in Tampa, I mean, Erie. So, like, nobody can attack her. I mean, and then on top of that, she's an attorney, so she knows what to say and what not to say.
Right.
But I would just love for her to give us the same opportunity today that she gave them in the past. I understand it's a delicate situation, and I've seen somebody say the union might be telling her, but I'm not sure, but I don't believe she's in a union because she's elected by the people. Right. I could be wrong because I know the union is even on her ass a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and if that is the case, then say that as well. Have whoever your voice is, because when you start ranking up and leveling up, you have a PR or you have a marketing team or you have people who are going to speak too. So whoever your people is, like tell your, like, you know what they say, have your people talk to my people. I'll get my people to talk to you. Like at this point, like, can we get some people to talk? And this is the thing. I know people are talking because I was at the very beginning of this, when they had the first march, like I was at a meeting and she was sitting in the meeting. They had some guys from Harrisburg, and it was at Bishop Brock's church. Okay. And, like, I told them at the meeting, like, I understand, like, all of this is good information, and it's appreciated, but I'm like, y'all speaking to the wrong people. Like, everybody in this room understands what's being said and what's going on, and we need to figure out a way to deliver that message to the people who truly care for, you know, the justice of Marcello and the people who want to be out here and the people who are asking questions, because she was present. And I told them that before the very first march, and I said, if we don't do something, if we don't get around and get involved with the actual community and not the leaders of the community and the workers of the community, because I understand, like, being a leader and I understand collaborating with other leaders, but you still have to talk to the people who are concerned, who are hurting, who are dealing with it. And I'm like, yo, we are wasting time. It's 12 o'clock. The meeting started at 12. It's now like 1 o'clock. There's a march, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock. I'm like, we need to be going to speak to them. She was there.
Right.
So at that point, you were told whenever, I don't know the date, but I know for a fact, I can say out of my own mouth, I stood in Bishop Brock's church, and it was a meeting with Michael Outlaw had pulled something together, so some guys from the head of the state police community affairs department or something like that. There was him, black guy, was a Hispanic guy. Elizabeth Hurst was there. Dan Spizzarni was there. Then it was like representatives from a bunch of different agencies, Erie's Black Wall Street, Mr. Gary Horton, Mr. Andre Horton, some of the black clergymen, a lot of pastors was in there. So I'm like, you know, if you look around the room, you can see like it's a lot of educated, prominent people, and the information is good. Right. But there are also some other people who need to be engaged with just like this. Yeah. If not, we aren't going to understand. So, like, and she was in the room. So, and I said all that to say, like, there was a point in time where she was willing to engage with us, and she was warned as far as, like, if her lack of engagement with the community didn't expand, that it would turn into where people are now calling for you. I even said that in there. Like, bro, I was pointing people out in the room. I said, they're calling for you. Yep. I looked at Bishop Brock. I said, they calling for you. Nobody knows what to do. Everybody who's in this room right now are the people who are being antagonized, picked apart, or called on, because we are supposed to be the leaders in the community. We not doing anything, and she was there. So I was telling them and telling her, yo, let's start going to the people, because the people actually matter. Right. I told her this. Look, she was front and center. I asked if I could come to the front of the church, bro, and was looking her right in her face like, this is my ask, and this is a need. So now we to the point now to where, like, this is still an ask, and this is still a need. Like, come to us. And if you feel like we've gotten too passionate, I ain't even going to get the energy of the word that they would use. If you feel like we've gotten too passionate to the point to where you don't feel safe, then everybody got a cell phone. She could put her cell phone on and she can come on this podcast show and she can have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Or
Absolutely.
she can go on the news, because the news has definitely been more than open and hosting, and she can have a conversation on it. Or she can have a press conference or something. We're not even asking for her to give us all the answers today or tomorrow. We just asking her to say something.
Something.
Say something. And then even the vote thing, I want to bring it back to that too, because like at this point, like it's not about me, but you know, when you talk about it, like it's an upcoming election. You know what I mean? And everybody, we need to be mindful of that, and we need to be registering to vote, but understanding how it works. And when we talk about that District 4 thing, like that's an area. So it won't take many of us to swing that seat, but everybody's not going to be able to run it. We need to identify a candidate, and we need to back that candidate up, because regardless of what we go down there and we scream or we say, Jim Minarski, he has a following. You know what I mean? He has both a Democratic and a Republican following. That's why he's been able to occupy the seat. And when the Democrats run, we always split it because we send so many different people. So I truly believe that we as a community who lives in District 4, if we truly want to get him out the seat or even apply some pressure on him, we have to identify one candidate.
One person.
One candidate. Like, we can't be like, okay, if it's 4 or 5 names on the ticket, or even if people want to secretly run. I'm not secretly run, but even if people want to write in run. Like, we as a community who disagree with what's going on in District 4, and it's a small area, so this isn't going to be that difficult to, you know what I mean, kind of like navigate and kind of maintain. What we need to do is make sure, and like I see Michael's in the comments saying November 4th. I think the last day to register is sometime in October, but I'm not 100% sure. I've been sharing that information as well. But what we need to do is figure out the people in this area, find a group of individuals who are down with the Justice for Cello to canvass this area. And we all need, like, when people say, like, y'all going too hard, we need to start knocking on doors. But we knocking on doors advocating for our candidate, and we represent also for Justice for Cello. And we only want, since our concern is Marcello Woodard, we only want to be marching and stepping with candidates who advocating for Justice for Cello. And we only going to want to register people to vote and we're going to let them know. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like, I can't emphasize this enough how powerful this would look if tomorrow 100 people registered to vote. You know what I mean? I'm trying, or how powerful it'd be is if we found one candidate. We found one candidate and we like, yo, bro, we're going to support you and we're going to knock these doors with you, but you have to let us know that you down with us too, because this stuff that's going on right now can't happen. What we can't do and what we should not do and what we bet not do if we want to keep Jim Minarski out of there come this November is we cannot have 3 and 4 people that we all splitting and voting on it undecided. So anybody who lives in District 4, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're an independent candidate. Now is the time for us to understand that within this specific district, this is how we control it. And we can start with a smaller controlled level just so people can truly understand how it works. So then on a larger level, we can understand how we actually control the people who are going to sit in these seats and the people who are going to actually hold these seats, and that we control the space that they sit in if we organize and we do it together, bro. And I'm telling you, like, now is the time. I see Michael Woodard said Mike Keys. Like, if he was to run, he would have to be a running candidate if that's the person who we are going to support. But what we cannot do, we cannot be split on anybody. Like, I talked to Kevin, the guy who's running. He ran Democrat. He lost to Jim on the Democratic ticket, but he won on the Republican. So he's going to be on the ticket as a Republican candidate, but he's a Democrat. I don't have much information about him to share about him to speak him up, but I also don't have any information about him to speak him down. But I do know that he was on a Democratic ticket with Jim. He's now going to be on the Republican ticket because he got a write-in. He won on the write-in. But Michael Keys also ran. The reason why he ran is because, the reason why Michael Keys lost is because, again, we split the ticket, and because the district is so small, that's what happened. So I've been talking to Michael Keys, and if that's something that he wants to do, I fully support that. So if that's what he going to do, and if we going to rally around, like, again, you're allowed to knock doors. So people who registered to vote, all of the information is valid. So now if it gets to the point to where we knocking doors because we got a candidate and we still screaming Justice for Cello, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to scream and be loud. Like the T-shirt says enough. Knocking on the door, hey, my name is Deontay Cooley. I'm here advocating for the candidate for County Council District 4. I got some literature for you that they share with me. I just wanted to, I wanted to see if we had your support. And if that candidate has a yard sign, can we leave a sign in the yard? Can we count on you to vote for this person come November 4th? That's how it works, and that's how we going to change it. Like, we legitimately need to give a recommendation who we should target to help. Anybody who can help. Like, I know how it goes, like, when it comes to that knocking doors, and then trust me, like, Chuck can help me. Chuck can walk me right through that process, and Chuck willing to go in the trenches with us. Like, I ain't talked to him about it yet, but I know Chuck well enough to know if I be like, hey, yo, bro, I got some people together. We finna go knock some doors and pass some literature. We've identified a candidate. Chuck will give me the whole blueprint and the whole game plan. Like, so I'm putting his name out there anyway. I know he watching or either going to see or somebody can tell him. But yeah, when it comes to that, like, that's the simplest thing that we can do. And even if it's somebody who we want who lives in a district, we just need to know that what we cannot do. Like, and I want to emphasize the importance on this for anybody. And I'm not trying to tell anybody who to vote for. I'm not trying to tell anybody who not to vote for. I know that I said and I have my concerns as far as, like, you don't vote for us and I don't want you in there. But I know that if there are 4 candidates on it, they split it up. And whoever gets the larger piece of the pie wins, whoever gets the highest percent. So if we can limit it to a head up and make it like a one-on-one, and we all in this district too, this is not a citywide thing. You have to live in District 4. Like, I wish I was prepared as much as I'm talking to have the parameters up to be able to, like, explain it and then even, like, pull it up. But it's a certain area and it's a certain neighborhood. I know it's above East 26th Street, out to, like, east side, out to Buffalo Road area. Andre Horton got below East 26th Street, and Jim Wirtz is running for that. And his goes, like, to the west side. I'm not exactly sure where District 4 stops, but there are maps. But that is literally the way that you have to do it. Only the people who live in that area will have the control of if he gets that seat. And I know that was a whole civics lesson, but, we have to emphasize the importance of that, because I know a lot of us were saying we don't want Winarski back, but what we can't do is we can't have 2, 3, 4, 5 different candidates that everybody likes and it's their favorite person, and now we just gonna pick this person because we don't like him, because he does have a following. He's been doing this. He does make money. Again, like, we weren't up there assassinating his character as a man or as an individual or as a human being. We were talking to him about being our county council person in the district that he holds a seat. Absolutely. Because outside of that, like, he still is somebody, and he still has the opportunity for him to hold that seat because he has done things for people, and those people are going to be true and loyal to him. So this isn't just going to be no cakewalk. Okay, we screamed at him and now he's gone. And that's why he was smirking. He smirked because he realizes and understands that as of a people, statistically, we don't even have the power to get him out the seat. We don't even know what it takes to get him out the seat. And he knows that his following is strong enough to where they can come down here and scream all they want. When it comes to election time, they ain't going to do what it takes. That's what the smirk said to me. I don't think the smirk was, I don't care what happened in Cello. I think the smirk was when Malcolm looked him in his face and Malcolm said, we gonna get you out of here. He smirked at Malcolm. Like, that was that, you don't even know how to smirk, but I mean, you don't even know how to, brother, man. But like, you wrong. Like, we do know how to, and we gonna do it the right way. We ain't gonna split it. We ain't gonna continue to split them tickets up like we've been doing historically. Like, I've been learning the history. I know the history. And we working towards it. So that's how we do that when it comes to that civic lesson. We can't split it. We got to find a candidate. We got to go hard for that candidate.
Yeah, you can't cancel people's votes out by vote for different people. You got to have one strong candidate out there, man. And I'm sure with the time that we have left, you guys will definitely figure it out. And like you said, you got to have somebody that's riding for Justice for Cello, because Justice for Cello is the beginning of change for Erie County. There's going to be, I hate to say it, I hope there's not situations like this in the future. But if there is any incidents like this in the future, we'll be fighting for justice for that person as well, because Justice for Cello lives on. This was the first time that this situation where a parolee was shot by a parole agent in the state of Pennsylvania, and only the second time in the country, man. This is just unprecedented, and it's a shame that it happened to our cousin. And we're in it 10 toes deep, man, and we want to hear something. The people deserve something. The family deserves to hear something from Elizabeth Hertz. We have not heard a peep No press conference, no nothing, and we definitely deserve to hear something. Deontay, parting words. What do you want to say to the people that you haven't gotten off your chest tonight?
Um, the message is the message. The message has been the message, and it's still the message. Like we going hard for justice for Cello.
Yep.
We putting facts over feelings. We putting logic over feelings. We not coming emotionally involved. We not being emotionally charged. Like all messages are necessary. All posts are necessary for the people who disagree with us. Disagree with us to the district attorney. Don't like if anybody who has a problem with me and you want to talk to me about how you feel. I challenge you to come to a county council meeting or a city council meeting and let them know that you're tired of me. Don't you don't got to turn around and speak to me, but you can say my name clear as day. You can get on that mic just like how you would tag me in the comments.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, Mr. Council person, Mr. Councilwoman, we want you to do something because we tired of hearing from Deontay Cooley. We tired of seeing him. Like, make it public record. I want people to understand that. When we go down there and we grab the microphones, it's public record. It's in writing. Like, it's documented. Like, it's recorded, all of that. So I want everybody to make sure that we're on the right side of history when this thing goes down. And that's to the elected officials as well, because it's bigger than the status quo at this point in time. Like, it's a shift in leadership in Erie. And a lot of the new leaders in the city is on what we on. You know what I mean? It's a generational thing. So for anybody who's trying to play it safe because that's the way things have always been, I will tell you I'm connected to some people who are willing to make some changes and who are willing to take some risks. So the way it's always been is not the way it's always going to be. And if you want us to continue to stick with the status quo, then you're going to get left behind. So at this point, like, we asking anybody who's a figure of authority or a public figure or elected official to do the right thing, man, and help us. You know what I mean? Like, we're not asking nobody to incarcerate nobody. We're not asking nobody to hurt nobody, kill nobody, beat nobody up. We're not asking for any violence. We're asking for justice, man, and we asking for anybody who has a beating heart in their chest and blood running through their body to help. Like, whatever that looks like, whatever help looks like to you, help, man. Don't attack us. Don't judge us. I mean,
Yeah.
and if you feel so, may God bless you, man. I don't got time to be fighting with nobody or arguing with nobody. Like, God got me, and God has protected me, and God has armed and equipped me with everything that I need to protect myself in the event that there's a physical threat or even a mental threat. You know what I mean? So I'm protected and covered by God, man. And I just want everybody to understand that, regardless of what you think or how you feel of me, like when I'm talking justice for Cello, I don't care how you feel about justice for Cello if it's not you feeling the same way as I feel when it comes to seeking justice for Cello, bro.
I agree with you 100%, man. Justice for Cello is what we are pushing for, what we will continue to be pushing for. And you ask, what does justice for Cello look like? Well, justice for Cello looks like a termination, an indictment, an arrest, a conviction, and change. Those five things we want to see happen in the city of Erie, which is going to set the tone for justice for Cello. All right. This has been episode 26 of Etcetera with the Woodard. Special guest tonight was Deontay Cooley. For Deontay Cooley, I'm Craig Woodard. Good night. We'll see you next week.
Good night. Appreciate you.